In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Here, Hold My Earrings. My name is Al, and I'm your DM for today. Today we have Henrietta, Yvonne, Susan, and Daria. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henriette. I'm from Norway, and I play a Kalashtar druid named Dalin.
Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Susan?
Hi, I'm Susan. I'm from America, and I play a half-elven bard named Moxie.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Final answer.
yes.
Daria?
Last time I checked.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Daria, and I'm from Poland. I play a tiefling sorcerer named Zenis.
Excellent. And Henrietta has kindly offered to do the recap today.
Yes, I have. Okay, we start the episode with Rick, and he's about to leave in his giant silvery ball. And he does, and he runs over Cud, of course. And he hurts him pretty bad. We also hear a scream in the distance when Rick goes away, and we go to investigate, and there we find Denise and her father. Her father got rolled over by Rick, so he died. So we buried him, and we asked Denise why she was in the dark, and she said that she had a vision of a book in her head, and she had to find it. And her father thought that it might be in the Underdark, so that's why they were there. So we talked a little bit about Graven Hollow and a lot of books, and she decides to come with us. And then we start moving, and we get to a mushroom forest, and there we see a little flump, and Sinise talks to it, and it's named Suni. I actually wrote that down. Remember to write down the name. And it was wondering why we were there, and we told it that we were going to go to Sponge's hometown or city or community or what you would call it. The flump tells us that we smell like mind flayers. I wouldn't smell like mind flayer because I have never been with a mind flayer or met a mind flayer, but the others thought, was it a baby or a child mind flayer that they thought?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's probably why they smell like mind flayers. And it tells us that the mind flayer in that region were had been driven out by Githyankis, and the Githyankis were there to defeat demons, and that there are demons around. And we ask it what kind of demons, and it says like her, and he points at Byleth. Dum dum da. Sorry. We after that the flump disperses, and we head to Sponge's community. When we get there, we see a Githyanki and a mushroom guy, and the mushroom guy is covered in mold, and they are fighting. Since we have kind of more positive interactions with the mushroom peoples, we attack the Githyanki first. And after a few rounds of attacking it, it blinks out or teleports or something. But then the mushroom guy attacks us, and we kill it. When the combat is over, Cud tells us that the library is very close, but it's moving. But we agree on getting Sponge home before we go to Graven Hollow because we have promised him to do so. So we follow Sponge further, and then we arrive to his community, and it's a beautiful forest of glowing mushrooms, and a voice in our heads greets us, "Hello." That's that.
Very good. That was
pretty awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, I know,
You know,
right?
you're so good. You might have to do it again.
Oh no. Next time, my notes for this session was that we met a Thwomp named Suni. That's it.
Well, that was actually one of the more important parts anyway, so you
Mhm.
did get the name. Well done.
Yeah.
And does anybody want to add anything? And thank you for that. That was an excellent recap.
Thanks, you got it all.
Hmm.
Yeah, very good. Yes, so a gentle voice, you interpret it as a gentle voice because, of course, as with most of the mushroom people, whom Sponge will tell you they refer to themselves as myconids, use telepathic spores to communicate. So how you interpret the voice is somewhat down to how they project themselves, and also somewhat how you individually would interpret a psychic communication. Now, you haven't seen anybody other than, of course, your own party members. It's a little hard to tell because it's a forest full of mushrooms. So is this guy a mushroom person? Is this guy a mushroom person? Who knows? But the voice is very gentle, and the entire cavern is full of, it's literally bursting with life. And you can see and hear and especially smell things living and also decaying all around you. The soil is soft and moist. There's dampness and humidity in the air. It smells rich, fertile, and also a bit, let's be honest, like decaying material, which of course is good for mushrooms and fungi and other plants that live off of breaking down of material organic components. Sponge seems to be quite excited for Sponge. You see him wriggling actively as he tries to almost dig his little roots into the soil. And you hear a psychic sound. Ah. Similar to what you imagine he would make if he were a human slipping into a hot tub after a long day. I'm home. Thank you. And Shrieker excitedly starts making a gentle keening sound, almost like a whining, but not angry or sad, just sort of a little excited and anticipatory. And Sponge gently reaches down and places Shrieker next to him. And Shrieker also seems to squirm a little. Although Shrieker doesn't move on his own, he does have a little bit of mobility, at least in terms of his own torso. And he settles in, and you see his small cap perk up and then sort of dangle and droop a bit. Your fungi friends seem to be very happy. Out from amongst some of the larger stalks, you see some rustling and movement, and a different voice pops into your heads. Well, hello there. And a creature pops out. Welcome to Neverlight Grove. I'm Philos, but ever since my awakening, everybody calls me Frank. I'm Frank, mayor of the Underdog. Just call me Frank Underdog. And Neverlight Grove welcomes you and all of your companions for as long as you wish to stay. And who do we have here?
I'm still a cat.
Oh, yeah.
And he spores you all without your consent. So, of course, you can speak as much as you want. And you don't even have to meow unless you want to.
Well, I am Delin, and these are my companions. And we came to return Sponge and Shriek over here.
Well, cut off my stalk and call me Cappy. Welcome back, Sponge. It's been quite a long time since we've seen you. I do hope you enjoy the changes, and I hope the rest of you will join us in a Meldon and stay for the party. We've got some exciting things coming up. You won't want to miss it, I tell you what. And he moves closer and inspects each of you carefully. You're not really in this form all the time, are you?
No.
Hmm.
I guess we're safe here.
Well, of course you are. Unless you're vegetarians and only eat mushrooms, then we might have a problem.
No, we're not. And I'm gonna turn into myself.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, you can be vegetarians. We also only eat vegetarian foods, but I think some other folks might take exception to being bitten and chewed, at least without consent. I mean, I'm all for a good tussle. How about you, young lady? As he looks at Moxie.
Not a fan of chomping on mushrooms personally.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. During the Meldon, you will understand everything about everybody. Really, you probably won't want to bite anybody you know personally. It's hard to really eat somebody that you've actually shared an experience with. I'm sure you understand.
Okay. What is this Meldon?
Oh, it's an amazing experience. If you've never had one, I highly recommend it. We all come together and we share a communal moment. It lasts for hours, but you really get to know your neighbor and your community member. It builds empathy, builds bonds, shares experiences. We learn from each other. We appreciate each other more. It's what keeps us as a race and as a community alive, healthy. We've been changing the way we do the Meldons lately. I've had an epiphany, which is why I've decided to implement a new rule where everybody has to primarily meld just with their own circle. We've got circles of hunters and scouts and what have you, but we will have a large Meldon again fairly soon. It's part of the celebration. And if you haven't heard the good news, I tell you, we're all going to be saved. Have you heard the good word?
No.
Not sure that I have.
Would you like to?
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, this is something you have never seen. It's very exciting. We are going to have enlightenment. All of us are going to be raised to a new level. Oh, I tell you, instead of the circle of life, it'll
and death, it'll just be life and happiness and joy. Words cannot describe it. If you join the Meldon, you'll see all the future ahead of you. It truly is a blessed thing. I think you will really enjoy it. Come to the Meldon. You'll learn everything you need to learn. Now, how about you? Oh, that big metal axe. You look like you could cut down a couple of Zerkwoods before breakfast.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that here, though. I mean, you guys seem pretty nice, but it's nice, eh? Did you see these guns? These are nice
Oh,
guns.
I don't know what a gun is, but yeah, that's very impressive.
I'm
Well, it's
flexing.
all well, if it's all right to cut down a Zerkwood, we do take them. We've got a whole circle of farmers and foresters who help harvest the forest and yields that we need to keep our community thriving. If you don't mind helping out with a little bit of stock chopping, I'm sure they'd welcome it.
Me hand. It's the least I can do.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Very kind indeed. And how about you?
I was wonder if you have some place here that I can take a bath.
A bath, you say?
Yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, what do you want to bathe in exactly? Uh, we've got a pool of excrement that a lot of the Myconids feel is very soothing. Uh, we just cover ourselves in it, and it cools us and gives us nutrition.
Do you have a lake or a river, maybe?
Oh, we do have a small waterfall that opens up into a pond. I wouldn't call it a lake like the Dark Lake, but it's it's usually enough for us to feed and water all the forests and farms, and for all of us to get as much water and liquids as we need. You're welcome to bathe in it. If you
Okay.
if you leave a little bit of yourself in it and add to the nutrition, I'm sure everybody will appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. I see you've got some companions there. And he goes around and seems to have a private moment with each of them. You don't actually hear the discourse. With Cracker and the hyenas, he sort of just has a cursory conversation. With Maliborn, you see Maliborn's face suddenly change. It's frozen in a rictus of fear, and he starts looking anxiously over his shoulders, left, right, all around. Mayor Frank Underdark seems to say a few more words, and Maliborn calms down a bit, but you can still see a sheen of sweat on his glistening pectorals and his rigid abs. And when it comes to Cud goes, "Oh, mmm, yes, mmm." And the mayor seems very excited too. He sort of squirms around, and Cud starts slapping the mayor on the back, and the mayor's cap goes up and down and flaps very excitedly. And then the mayor makes a general announcement to everyone psychically. Well, of course, Cud is certainly welcome to join our Meldon anytime he wishes. Thank you for bringing him to us. As for you, Sponge, and your little friend there, if you would like to resume your duties or stay with your friends, you're welcome to do so. Once your friends leave, if they do decide to leave, we'll reassign you to a circle that suits you. And Sponge says, um, thank you. Yeah, I'll stay with them for now, if that's okay. Well, that's fine. It's fine. We'll sort it out at the Meldon.
Uh, okay. Yeah, I haven't been feeling so well. I've got a bit of a headache. I might not join this one. I'll sit this one out.
Are you sure? You're really missing out.
It's okay. I'll just meld with sponge. I'll be fine. Or a shrieker, rather. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll meld with my friends. It'll be okay.
Hmm. Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed, but suit yourself. Eventually, you'll come back to the fold, and I'm sure you'll appreciate it. Anyway, feel free to look around, and there's lots of different places you can visit. But if you're interested in something, just let me know or speak to any of the other folks you encounter. Any of you hungry, by the way? I was about to have some lunch, but I could share what I've got. You look like you've been on the road.
Guess we could do with some food.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
terrific.
And he does the psychic equivalent of a whistle. And a couple of little sproutlings come out carrying a tray. And he hands each of you what appears to be a susna. For those of you who don't know, a susna is a bit of protein in between two bits of bread.
There you go. Our finest susna.
Wow.
Yeah, go
Thanks.
ahead. Eat up. Don't be shy.
All right. I've survived everything so far. If it's a Cessna, I can do this.
There you go.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Oh
you
dear.
feel very, very unwell, but you don't have any major symptoms. You get a bit of retching. It's really moldy. It's like green and it doesn't smell like anything except pure mold. And when you chew on it, it's just soft and slimy. It's like oozing. Everything's decomposing. The concept of it physically is really just a thought. And once you bite into it, everything just breaks down in your mouth and just kind of explodes in this ooze of bitterness
Ooh,
and sour.
could use some ketchup.
I don't know what ketchup is, but if you tell us how to make it out of mushrooms and fungi, I'm sure we can figure it out.
Kind of a red sauce. It's a little sweeter. It like can bury a lot of flavors. But
Oh,
it's great. It's great. No, it's good. I think I've had enough. It's good. Thanks.
yeah. How about the rest of you? Tell me what you think. We don't get outsiders that often, so we'd love to be able to refine it for your palate.
Yeah. I really don't want to insult you or anything, but well, humans and half orcs and tiefling and half elves, we usually don't eat moldy things because we get sick of it. It can make us sick. We usually eat fresh food.
At this, Mayor Frank Underdark's cap just sort of raises up and he looks just shocked. His eyes are huge. I am so sorry. I'm terribly embarrassed.
No, it's no problem.
Here, give them back.
And the sproutlings run around each of you, gathering back the moldy burgers.
We can make some fresh bread out of zirkwood, flour, and we've got some very nice fungus salad. It's basically a wood ear that we cut off of some of the other fungi. Um, we've had people like him before,
and he points at Maliborn.
and they've eaten it, and they seem to think it's okay. So, presumably, you'd be all right with it.
Sounds great.
Well,
Mhm.
again, I do apologize. See, if you joined the Meldon, we would all know this about you, and we wouldn't have these embarrassing moments.
It's okay.
Good. Well, it's settled then. We haven't got the preparations done yet. We're still setting up for the party, but once they're ready, I'll send some runners out, and I'm sure we'll find you. I mean, we all use telepathic spores anyway, so it's not like it's going to be very hard. Unless you had some ability to hide yourself, but of course, none of you can do that.
Hmm. Will it be today, or do we get along asleep first?
Oh, no, we're not ready yet. The party is not going to be for a while yet, but only because it's going to be such a big shindig, we really don't have everything set up. You've got time to explore, have a rest, take a, uh, and he looks at Zanice, bath or whatever it is you're doing. Um, rehydrate yourselves, I suppose. Um, uh, Cud, would you like to join me for a little tour? Yes, please. Well, why don't you come along and the rest of you all can have a look see and maybe talk to some folks.
Sounds good.
And Cud walks off with the mayor and the moldy burgers and disappears.
Okay, Sponge, what was all that about? What
Took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. Why don't you want to do the melding thing?
And Sponge looks furtively over his non-existent shoulders. I don't know. When I last saw him, he was just Phylos. He didn't have this whole Mayor Frank Underdark thing going on, and he didn't sound like that. He used to be a very even-keeled, almost dour personality. That was very different. Um, Something's going on here.
Okay.
And the the melding is it's always been all of us together, hundreds of us coming together all at once for hours every day. The idea of breaking us into smaller groups and not allowing us to meld with each other, it restricts us. It limits our ability to learn and share and see other Myconids' perspectives and viewpoints. Um, we're a very social community. It's very unusual to have that kind of limitation voluntarily. We even we're nomadic actually. We don't normally settle down in one place. This is Neverlight Grove is one of the few places that is a more permanent settlement. But we travel around primarily for safety and to find a good resource, but also to meet other groups and communicate with them and share with them. So I don't know. There's something off about Phylos. I mean, Mayor Frank. Uh, it feels very strange, and the air here. It's definitely home, but occasionally I get these chills, like an itchiness. It's hard to explain. It smells weird. Have you ever walked into a room and it just smelled really weird?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
Should we be worried about Cud?
Yeah. Should we join the melding or should we not?
Um, I don't know. We could
tried talking to Queen Basidia. Normally, a colony will have one sovereign. Philos was the king here before, but shortly before I was separated, another group came by and joined the existing colony. And that group was led by a sovereign by the name of Basidia. And unusually, Philos, who is getting on in years, he's seen many cycles now, offered to share the leadership responsibilities and allow Basidia to act as co-regent. So we could speak to her and see if she's got a different viewpoint.
Or maybe she's the reason why he's different.
It could be. I don't really know. I didn't really meet her very much. I met her. She seemed nice. She was the voice we heard when we came in. I don't know where she is, but you know how these spores work. And he just explodes a little bit of spore around him, just sort of nervously. Psh! Everybody around you is covered in a light powder of yellow. Sorry about that. That, as you know, it happens when I get nervous. Yeah, we could try to find her and talk to her. She's obviously busy, otherwise she would have come out and greeted us too. But yeah, I don't know. It's okay, Shrieker. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, you're not gonna find anything out by standing here, so should we just
Yeah.
look around?
Sure.
But I really need a bath.
Yeah. You could bring a Malaborn.
A sponge.
He can help you.
Sponge, can you show me where the sponge is?
Oh, yes, of course. And would you all like to come? There's a place for everybody to just sort of rest. It's not really that far from here, and we can all just sort of relax a little bit if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
So,
She said demandingly while the DM is rushing to try to get the right map if he can find it. It's like,
She wants her
have a-
bath.
do I
I
even
see.
have a map with a pond in it that works for this? I don't even know if I have that. All right. While I'm looking for the right map, if I can find one, the rest of you, you're laying around. You are brought to a beautiful place. It looks similar to what you're currently in. The primary difference being, of course, that it's got a water feature, which you can't see on the map, but it's there. Trust me, it's fine. It's nothing.
It's under that bridge.
Yeah, there. There you go. All right. I'm going to have to fake it. Give me a sec. You guys can, amongst yourselves. Daria with the fucking up the DM here by insisting on a bath.
you make me stink. It's your
Sorry,
fault.
what? It's my
You
fault?
make me stink. Yeah.
Oh, I made you stink. Okay, right,
Yep.
yeah. Or you could just be like Yvonne and roll with it. Just,
Yeah.
be stinky, right? I mean,
Go
nobody
with the
said you had
flowers.
to be clean. It's like
Makes
if
you
you've
look like
ever
you
been,
work hard.
yeah, exactly. If you've ever been camping, nobody's clean when they're camping. You're basically on a long-term camping trip. Here's what you're gonna get, and you'll take it.
You'll get what you're given, as the English would say. There you go. There's your pond.
Nice.
I rush. Wait.
There you go. Everybody happy now?
Yeah.
Not naming names. This is from Poland.
I'm taking my bath.
Now, does Zanice sing when she bathes?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, let's hear
Yeah.
it.
Oh no. You don't want to hear it.
We do want to hear it. No, well, you insist on taking a bath, so let's hear it. Come on, let's go, Daria. Don't be shy.
I sing.
Yeah, I want to hear the actual sing.
No, I sing. I go under the water.
Oh, you sink. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. And how does it sound when you're singing underwater? That just sounds like you're drowning.
Some may say that I'm dying.
I see that and I run in and I go to grab her out. Oh no!
Wait. Take my bath.
You're interfering with her bath.
I'm
She's trying to
jumping.
inadvertently
The
clean
water
me.
is fine.
You guys, I feel like there's a song for this. What's the song? There's a Muppet song, isn't there, where Kermit sings?
No idea.
Do you guys know the Muppets?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Trying to
think.
think.
Rubber ducky in my
Oh,
tub.
yeah. There's a half orc in my bath.
Well done.
He's
In point of
pissed
keep going. Keep going.
off. It's too wet. Okay, crackers out.
Good try. Yeah. There's also another one. If I find it, I'll pop it in. Okay, so you guys are, one of you is taking a bath, rather awkwardly trying to sing and drown herself at the same time. Anybody else doing anything? All right, this may be a little loud. I apologize. I'll lower the volume, but it takes a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rubbed up, just a washing in the tub. Let the rolling on the floor. I open the door and then I splash. I jump back in the bath.
There we go.
I haven't heard that song in ages.
Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not old enough to actually know when that song came out. All right.
Oh, I don't know when it came out either. I just know the song from growing up listening to music from that era. So
I feel like this is the song that Daria should have been channeling for Zanice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work on it. You're gonna sing eventually, Daria. Everybody does. Everybody
no.
does. Yeah, yeah.
You
Hey,
don't want to hear it.
we do want to hear it. The worse it is, the better it is. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Trust me.
mhm.
Trust me. Anybody who's ever been to karaoke will tell you there are two kinds of singers everyone wants to hear: the really good ones like Yvonne, and the really bad ones like you. So it'll be
Yeah.
really funny. All right. So while Zanice is splishing and a splashing, what are the rest of? And Cracker is trying to save her from drowning. Apparently, what are the rest of you all doing?
Asking Maliborn what his conversation was with Frank. because he didn't look too happy about it.
Hmm. Maliborn looks at you and says, Is this a command? Do I need to answer?
Yes.
He sighs with resignation as his chiseled shoulders slump. Fine. Mayor Frank Underdark was telling me how apparently a drow party had just come through here recently. They were searching for my group. And apparently they're aware that you may have had something to do with their demise. I suppose being trapped for years in that locked miniature environment, demiplane, or whatever you call it. As soon as we were released or broke free, well, obviously someone sent a message to somebody. And although it has been years, as you know, we drow live a very long time. Word has gotten out. Blingdenstone is in danger if the drow can ever organize and send a retaliatory party. But they also wanted to know what we knew. I'm not sure that we're entirely safe long term. They don't seem to know we're here, since they've already come and supposedly gone, he said. But the fact that we nearly crossed paths and that they're actively looking. If they find me and I'm not dead, let's just say there are worse things than death if one is a follower of Loth. Ugh. He shudders.
She kind of puts her hand on his shoulder and pats it. That's okay. We got you.
His shoulder feels firm and hard, but warm to the touch.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Promise me, if it seems as if we're about to be captured, kill me and burn my body, and then dismember it and scatter the ashes and bones. I don't want to come back. Not in that way.
Understood.
And he just sort of slumps down and he looks down at the ground, dejected, plays with a couple of little mushrooms that he finds, picking them. And one of them shrieks. Oh, I'm so sorry. This sucks. Bone Cracker, that is, just circles all of you continuously. Never quite in the group, but always just on the periphery. And the little hyenas, unless they're being given direct orders, they tend to follow her around since they recognize her. They can sort of communicate. She seems a bit uneasy. She says, I feel drawn to this place. I think I'm going to go join the mayor and your Minotaur friend. I'd eventually rather leave, but I think I have to go. If you'll excuse me. And she slides off, sloping between a couple of large mushrooms and disappearing.
Hmm.
The
Was this
little
like a?
baby
Oh,
little
sorry. Go
baby
ahead.
hyenas continue to hover around you. They kind of want to go with Bone Cracker, but Cracker just sort of pushes them back. What did you want to say?
I wanted to say, so Cracker's sort of on the edge of the pond now, not really wanting to get too clean. And she's watching all this too. And she says to Dylan, hey, what is this, like a black mold party?
Might be.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do this mindy meld thing.
No.
Maybe just clean up and get out of here.
But do we want to leave Cud behind?
We need Cud
Can
to
we
get
call
to
him?
the library.
Yeah.
We're all connected. Can we just like ring him up with our brains?
Might be a kind of distance.
Well, you've known him the longest. What do you think?
Well, if we are getting to the library, I have no idea where it is, but knowing Cud, he knows the way because he's been there before, and his race has a uncanny ability to find places they've been before. I think we need him if we are going to the library. And if the mushroom affecting people here, we should also know if we can do anything about it. But you saw the mushroom do that fought the Githyanki. He was really violent and mindless, so I don't know. And Cud is not violent and mindless anymore, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, Sponge, if he can contact him mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Are you asking Sponge now?
Yeah, I'm asking Sponge now.
Oh, sorry. To contact Cud.
Yeah, if he can reach him somehow. Send him a message or something.
Sponge says, I need to be closer. I can sense where generally things are, but it doesn't work like that.
Should we go and try and find them?
Yeah. Just like,
Agreed.
let's just say it's sort of like a team meeting.
There you go.
It's employee of the month.
Best team maker.
Sunise, are you done with your bath?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to take a long rest?
Just
Actually, yeah.
That would probably be best.
Zenise has been soaking for so long that not only are her fingers pruny, but even her horns look pruny.
it feels so good.
And your ears have swollen to 1.5 times their original size. Your ankles are
Aw.
super thick now.
It's fine.
She's clean. She cares not about the rest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as far as I can see, she's still in the water, so there we
No,
go.
I just get out.
Did Zenise actually like strip down to bathe, or did she just jump in with all
Yeah,
her
of
clothes?
course.
Oh, okay, right.
You
'Cause I
know?
was gonna say now you're like dripping water everywhere. Your boots are
Still
waterlogged.
dripping water.
You're still dripping water. Okay.
Yeah. Especially from my horns.
Right. Okay. And everywhere you walk, a few of the more mobile sproutlings, they just sort of slowly creep towards the trail of water you leave behind, and they start slurping it up through their little root tendrils. You can almost hear it happening, and little psychic impressions of
Cracker,
soup.
do you want a hug?
Does Cracker want a hug?
Not less sure. Like it turns into more of a headlock and a noogie. But I'm there.
Well, there you go. Camaraderie building. So, do you guys want to go looking for your friend, or you're going to take a long rest?
I think a long rest would be advisable.
Yeah, long rest first.
Okay. You generally feel safe here. There are little, myconids moving off in the distance. They pretty much leave you alone. They all seem to have their tasks. These ones in this particular area aren't doing anything other than just collecting water and what you assume are sort of their version of buckets. They're essentially mushroom caps that have been turned upside down, and they're suspended on poles. So they're kind of like two buckets on each end of the pole, and they come and go, and they fill them up, and then they leave. Occasionally, somebody off in the distance can be heard. It sounds like somebody's chopping something, like thunk, 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 thunk. And if you pay very close attention, you occasionally do see a mushroom cap just sort of start to fall over to the side and disappear behind the rest of the foliage, fungi foliage. It's very comfortable here. It's a little bit cool, a little bit damp, but beyond that, it's as good a place to take a long rest as any. So Zanice will awaken refreshed and feel the power surging in her as she realizes that her recent experiences have given her a little bit more to both reflect on and draw upon to increase her effectiveness as she goes forward. And the rest of you are, of course, fully recovered. Does anybody have any lingering issues?
Like,
Does anybody remember if they have any lingering issues?
Bloody tattoo.
I mean, I still don't have a shadow, and my right hand is still decrepit, but other than that,
You won't be playing the banjo anytime soon.
no.
All right. Okay. So yes, you feel like you've taken a long rest. It's the Underdark. The whole cavern, as all these caverns have been, is fully illuminated, but by these bizarre lights, right? They're mostly bioluminescent fungi. Occasionally, it's just glowing rocks. You think some of it may even be Fair's Rest, but it's very faint, and it's nothing like what you saw in the new model city of Blingdenstone. So the net effect is that you kind of feel like you're able to see everything clearly, but it isn't what you would call bright daylight. But it's also not dim light either. It's more. It's really like if you were in a nightclub and they had all the multicolored lights, but instead of strobing, they were just on all the time. So everybody is this bizarre color of purple or pink or green or yellow. There's, all these slightly fluorescent colors. Some of you look better in those colors. Some of you look bizarre. And there's definitely a little bit of confusion occasionally if you're checking yourself for health reasons, like looking at yourself in a reflection, say on the water surface or in a silver mirror. Your tongue doesn't look its normal color. It looks like you might be very ill, but of course you all feel fine. All right. What do you guys want to do now?
I think we need to track down Cud.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. So, how do you want to do that?
Sponge, do you
Oh.
think you could lead us to whereabouts he is?
Um, well, I don't know where he is exactly, but I could. Stay right here. Let me go ask somebody. And he shuffles off in between a couple of large mushrooms and then comes back and says, I think I have an idea.
Bonecracker went to find Cud, and the pups wanted to follow her. Why not let the pups lead us to them?
That's a good plan.
Just a thought.
Just rope them up, though. They're kind of mental.
Yes, they are roped up.
Okay. So are they individually roped up back to each of them has their own leash, or have you
Yes.
chained them together like some combination press gang or a Diderot race?
They become sled pups.
Sled pups. And they're
sled
not pups,
cubs.
they're cubs, so they're incredibly boisterous and raucous, and they do everything except go in the direction you want them to go.
Exactly.
So Sponge leads you through some increasingly darker areas. I feel like this is where the mayor, as he calls himself, used to keep all of his meetings. I checked with some people, and they said that this is where the preparations for the celebration are happening. I'm not sure if this is the right place to find Cud, but if the mayor wanted to show him what they were doing, this might be the right place.
Do you know what they are celebrating? He just said that they had good news, but he didn't elaborate on what those were.
I don't know anything about it. We don't normally have these. And he sticks up 2 of his 3 fingers on each hand and does a little flick of his fingers towards his palms. Celebrations. It's not something we've ever really done before. It's all very new. It could be. Well, I don't want to speculate. All I know is it all feels very, very different. If we go and we're not invited, though, I just want to be clear. I don't know that this is entirely safe. Generally, we're welcome wherever we want, but we would have to. Well, I just mean it's a little bit unusual to have all these things happening, and I would like to. I think it's probably a good idea just to be a little careful.
As we're walking, I wanted to look out and see if I could see any traces of mold anywhere on the path.
Yeah, let's have an active perception check. Now, I know your passive is fairly high. Since you're not, this isn't so much of a immediate threat to you, and it's a new environment. We're going to say that the passive checks won't work here because, can you tell that? Would you be able to tell the difference between a little bit of black mold versus all the various colors of mushrooms that you've never seen before?
Probably not.
So we can do that. You can also use other skills if you can make a good argument for them, for those of you who have other skills that might work. I would take survival, for example, or nature maybe. Daria, if you want to try performance and try singing again, I'll allow it just for the sake of humor.
Nope.
We're going to turn Daria into an opera singer by the end of this campaign. She'd be belting out something from the Phantom of the Opera, or maybe the Barber of Seville.
Or cats.
Okay. No,
Um,
not cats.
Carmen.
Cats.
Yeah, whatever.
The show was
Can I-
great. The movie, not so much.
Can I like do a survival check to see if I can see if Cud's been here by his scat? Because we have seen plenty of that mushroom scat interaction.
Ooh, now that's how you play D&D. Well done. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. And since you described it so clearly, I'll even give you advantage on that. And yes, I saw your roll, Henrietta. You got a 19. I'm going to give you that answer also all at the same time. Anybody else can do one thing. You can choose whatever it is you want to do. Does anybody else want to try something?
I think I'll leave it to the ladies. I don't think I'd do too well searching in a place that I don't know.
The way you phrased that, it was like you weren't one of the ladies, but that's fine. Hey, look, I'm no judging, right? I mean, it's 21st century, whatever. Daria, just messing with you, Susan.
Oh, I know.
Daria, does Zanise want to do anything? Polish her
No.
horns, dry out her hair,
Check her nails.
check her nails, or do whatever she wants to do. Maybe
She
lick one of the
wants to-
mushrooms, see if there's something that interesting happens when she eats a mushroom randomly.
She's gonna put on her clothes.
She's been walking around without clothes this whole time. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Who sleeps with their clothes?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, we've got Maliborn walking around half naked all the time, so whatever. But that's just eye candy. Okay. So first of all, Cracker, you do, because Cut is humongous and you know what it looks like. You've been around him long enough. It's not just huge, but it's also smelly. And Cracker's got a little bit of expertise when it comes to smelly things. She does spot Cud's waste, and she finds it, and the trail that's been left. Cud is not there, sorry. Neither is Byleth. Apologize, I should have had that set up right. Or Ivy. And go. Anybody else who's there who shouldn't be there? I think that's everybody. Okay, so can you guys see that you're back in sort of the mushroomy forest area?
No.
No, kind of below it.
You're kind of below it.
Mm-hmm.
You're here.
Do we just drag myself up?
No, but you should be in the second area, which is also. Oh, is it black? for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yep. So this is a new area. It's noticeably darker, although you may not be able to tell exactly, as you have moved from one section to another.
And I let everybody know, by the way, that I found this.
Yep. Cool. And Henrietta, as Cracker is sort of acting as lead scout, as it were, and you do see little streaks occasionally. They don't seem like they're dominating, but at the same time, you know that that the effects of of the mold is both pernicious and unpredictable. So whilst it does seem like it's prevalent, or it's present, I should say. It isn't prevalent. Most of the mushrooms that you see, especially the ones that you recognize now as being food type mushrooms, they don't seem overly contaminated. But there are also a couple of little myconids running around, sometimes sproutlings, sometimes adults, and a few of them do look a bit more lethargic or a bit more animated versus the vast majority of them. They don't act like sponge. They seem to be overly excited. They're almost like, imagine if they were on some sort of amphetamine, just running around at super high speed for them. Sponge travels at around 20 foot per round. And when you watch some of these other guys, they're literally dashing all the time. Sponge leads you through to the next section. Did anybody else want to do anything? I assume you guys can see everything now, right? Okay.
Mhm. I guess keep following the trail.
Yeah. Keep following
Yeah.
the trail.
How's Sponge
And
reacting to all this? Sort of, is he acting weird or is he still okay?
mm, when you say to this, what do you mean to this?
Oh, sorry, to the traces of black mold. Is he noticing it as well? And
No, he hasn't really. I mean, it's not something he's focused on unless you want him to be focused on it. He will say once you move into the next area, which you can see now on the other side, hopefully, that this is unusual. Something is definitely wrong. This is not how these mushrooms are supposed to look. This is not their natural color.
What do they usually look like?
Well, he turns around and points at the pink and orange ones. They're usually more like that. This is the trail that leads to Igmorgus. I wonder if Igmorgus is being affected.
Igmorgus is? Question mark.
Sorry. And he sends you an image of a huge, beautiful mushroom. It is large enough that all of you could live inside of it happily. It is so tall that it literally, the cap blocks out the entire cavern ceiling. Igmorgus is the largest of all of us.
Is all this connected to Aramacos?
Aramacos is not part of Neverlight Grove. Aramacos is the greatest fungus that exists. It may be the largest creature in the Underdark. It spreads across a land so vast that the Dark Lake would fit inside of Aramacos.
But it's not connected to anything here.
Not directly, but myconids do occasionally interact with Aramacos by traveling to it. It is both its own entity and also its own ecosystem. It can harvest itself, it can spread out and grow, it can nurture other life. Basidia might be better at explaining this. I'm not really an expert on this. But if this is, and he looks at the darkened, purplish mushrooms you see, if this is a sign of how Igmorgus is developing, and this is where they're planning to hold the big celebration, I'm a bit worried what this means.
Plus, the air really smells weird here. It's like it's kind of like cracker, but like 100 times stronger.
So it smells like hard work. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, but it's weird though. It's not just that. I mean, normally everything smells really nice like this. And he scoops up some dirt from he runs back, scoops up some dirt from the less infected area and holds it in front of you. And all you smell is sort of damp earth mixed in with offal and excrement. It smells very rich, but in a pungent, kind of slightly distasteful way to humanoid senses. You can't really smell the difference, but he insists, this doesn't smell right. This smells. I, I feel like if I stayed here very long, I'd get very dizzy and lightheaded,
We
and
got to get
maybe
him out of
even.
here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay for now, but I think if I stayed for weeks, like some of these other myconids, I'd start feeling. Uh, I wouldn't feel very good. It it makes me it makes me very sick.
This is making me a bit nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I like Sponge.
The thing is, if this is really how things are going, oh, I mean, I don't want to say that it's something you have to help with, but I'd be worried about the rest of the colony.
Is Igmorgus far away? Is this a long walk or?
We have to go through all of this, and really, we should get permission before we go there. Igmorgus is Igmorgus is kind of a special thing to some of us, but it'll take us about an hour or two, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just worried if, well, the ones that we need to ask permission from are infected
Mm-hmm.
and won't let us go to investigate.
Do you think you
Hmm.
could tell who isn't affected, and maybe we could, I don't know. You say they groups of you come and go. Maybe they need to go and get out of here. Like evacuate.
Um, well, we could go back to being a nomadic group, I suppose, but that's really a question for the king or the queen. I mean, it sounds like Phylos. I mean, Mayor Frank Underdark doesn't want to leave. Basidia did come here from somewhere else. Maybe she would be happy to take the rest of the colony and head out again and see if they could find a safe place to live.
That or she brought it here.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's so safe to talk to.
Maybe we should just move forward.
Let's go find Cud.
The trail to Cud seems to lead through this purple patch.
Is there any way we can protect Sponge from this stuff?
We could send him back and we can just act like we didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
If we meet someone who says that we're not allowed there,
Might be a good idea.
just tell them that we're sightseeing.
Yep.
Or we can talk to the queen and see if she's affected.
I feel that would take longer than getting to Cud. And these mushrooms don't look too good.
I'm just thinking if she's not infected, she would be a good ally to have.
Yeah, let's find out. I vote Basidia. And how close is she?
Sponge will say,
It's Neverlight Grove is large, but it doesn't take days to travel. Um, we could, I could probably ask some questions, and we'll find her within a few hours, I'm sure. If she's not busy.
Well,
I mean, Sponge likes. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I mean, Sponge likes that black mold that keeps him okay. So he's not really in danger, but I just want to get out of here. Yeah.
We know that he has been infected, been eating this stuff, and he's kind of better off doing it. Well, towards us at least. So I'm not too worried about the mold. And usually he can take care of himself, but we saw what happened with the gnolls.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
just like Marmite, some people like it and other people get sick. I'm not saying Marmite was my inspiration. I'm not saying it.
That's a good one.
Daria, do you know what Marmite is or Vegemite?
Blah.
No?
No.
Oh, I highly recommend you try it once.
Like,
Very
not
good
by
for
their
you.
reactions.
Yeah. Horrible.
It's not bad. I mean, I like it sometimes.
I can honestly say I've never eaten it, and I don't think I want to.
It's definitely some people. It's polarizing.
It's an acquired taste.
I wouldn't say it's acquired. Some people just genuinely like it, or some people don't like it. It seems to be sort of instinctive almost. Maybe it depends on how your olfactory system is set up.
Mm.
Let's just say it's a surprising flavor.
Right. Exactly. Very good. Well done, Yvonne. Okay, so what's the group consensus?
I guess we go find Basidia then.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
Dylan's right. We might need a good
Sure.
ally. Getting weird.
Know who our enemies are.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it feels like a good time to take a little break. Shall we take sort of 7 minutes?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Little coffee break.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Wait.
Hi. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here,
hold
my
my
earrings.
Here, my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
okay, so you guys are going to go in search of the Queen, Basidia.
Yes.
All right. Well, Al was busy sorting out his coffee, so he didn't have a time to do this, but let's do this real quick now. Back to the main cavern. Bloop. And nothing to see about your lake. Lake's gone. Yeah, you can go back and take a bath later. It's just,
Okay.
God. It's like I can see this is going to be like the running joke for Daria's character. It's like she's always trying to like take a bath when, and like it's the least opportune moment. You know, like in the middle of combat, she'll be jumping into the water feature that has like the, deadly killer octopus. She'll be like scrubbing herself, washing her hair or whatever, washing her horns.
Yeah.
Gotta get that spores out from inside her ears.
Right. And we'll have this dichotomy between Cracker on the one hand, when was the last time Cracker took a bath?
Just now.
Diving into the water to save somebody else. That counts as a bath. Yep.
And when you give someone a headlock and a noogie, I don't know how good she smells now anyway.
That's right. Yeah, that's true, right? Because Zanice's head was basically in Cracker's armpit. Yeah, we used to torture each other when we were kids. We would do the headlock thing, but then turn them around so that they had to breathe in the armpit. We were kids. I mean, we didn't know. Okay. Sorry, Daria. I know you signed up for D&D, not armpits and chickens.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you're new. This is how every game is run. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have at least 2 minutes of armpit talk every game, you're missing out. Speaking of armpits, you finally find Queen Basidia. Not that she has anything to do with armpits. Hello. I hear you're looking for me.
We would like to ask you permission to go to Igmorgus.
Oh. Well. You see, I don't really control that part of Neverlight Grove anymore. You can. But Phylos, or whatever he calls himself these days, Mayor Underdark, he insists that it be a secret because it's, well, there's a big celebration, as you've probably heard. I don't know anything about it. I'm not sure I agree with it. But a number of the Myconids seem to have gone along with the idea, and as far as I'm concerned, well, we just try to get along. Well, why do you want to see Igmorgus?
Because there's something fishy going on there. Have you seen the mushroom forest on the way?
Fishy? We do have fish in the pond.
There's something weird going on.
Oh, weird. Oh, I see. Yes, I have seen the changes in the forest, and I will admit it does concern me. As you can imagine, it is a reflection of our people as well. A number of them they're acting very strangely.
We think we might know why.
Oh?
Have you noticed any black mold around?
Yes. The leader of the Circle of Farmers has expressed some concern that although we welcome a certain level of decay as part of the recycling process, this new mold seems to be interfering with that natural progression, and yes, some of the Myconids who have come in contact with it seem to be experiencing changes in their personality and behavior.
That's the mold.
Oh.
It's kind of, I don't know what to call it, but it comes from Suktmoy, who's a demon goddess.
Oh. A demon?
Well, I think
Well,
so. I'm not very learned when it comes to demons, but I think she's a demon goddess.
And she immediately moves away from Zanice.
But there's a demon there.
She's not a demon. She's a child of a demon.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, you have some ties to
Maybe. My parents are not demons, so you know, they're not.
Have you ever heard of
Hmm.
Suktmoy?
Hmm. Is she from the colony north of the Dark Lake?
No.
Oh, then no,
Okay.
I haven't.
No.
But if she. So you're saying she's an actual demon goddess. But why would she want to come here?
Well, she isn't here exactly, but she was imprisoned and someone let her loose and she escaped with her lover boyfriend Jublex. And well,
Is he from the colony north of the Dark Lake?
no. And well,
Oh,
as far as we know, she's pregnant and now she's spreading her ooze, mold, what you would call it, all over the world. And she wants to take over the world, destroy the world.
pregnant.
She's gonna have a baby. Child.
Baby.
Little person.
Oh, a sproutling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Oh, so she's eating.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, I do that too when I'm about to sprout. And she suddenly takes a little mushroom that's growing off of the back of her hand, and she nibbles on it.
Nice. Well, as far as we know, the mold make some people aggressive and mindless. It makes some other creatures smart and non-violent. So, well, it's not good. Do you know
I see.
Portobello?
Oh. Portobello, yes. We haven't seen her in a long time. She was our lead scout, the Circle of Scouts.
Yeah.
Have you
She,
seen her?
yeah, a long time ago. Well, some months ago at least. She was killed by Suktmoy.
Oh, no. It's been ages since we melded, but we were such good friends. She was so brave and strong.
She was.
She was one of the best scouts. She would go out and constantly help us find the dead bodies of the various humanoids like him, pointing at Maliborn, that we could then bring back and reanimate with our spores to help defend the colony.
Mm.
Oh, that's terrible. I shall miss her. And she eats another mushroom off the back of another hand.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a nervous eater.
That's okay. She was brave. She,
Hmm.
she helped us in the Temple of Lolth. That's where we met her.
And she comes over and she says, "May I?" And she reaches out both hands.
Okay. Sure.
And she puts a hug around you and releases some spores. And for a brief moment, you share some memories of Portobello in action. One time fighting off what appears to be kind of a squid-like creature with a sharp beak and tentacles, but on land.
And Portabella is saving two sproutlings while she's shoving a spear into this creature's beak. And another time when there's a monster humanoid looking, except it's got bizarrely shaped limbs and a giant central eye, very large. It's green, scaly, and she's using two swords and cutting off the head. Portabella was one of our greatest. I share this memory so that we can bond. And then she takes from you the memory of Portabella fighting Zuckmoy at the end and sacrificing herself. Selfless to the end.
Yes.
She was a brave soul. I shall mention this to the new head of the Circle of Scouts, who will be confirmed in that position permanently. And at their next circle melding, they will remember her. We should really remember her as a colony, but ever since Mayor Frank has decreed that we should only meld within our circle, we haven't been able to do that. But I can still have the memory shared with the inner circle, of which, of course, I am one of the two leaders. And they will trickle it down to the rest of their circles. Thank you for that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Why do you only meld with certain groups now?
I don't know. Philos decreed this a few months ago, I guess. His behavior changed dramatically. He's now very, well, I don't want to say animated because, of course, as Sponge will tell you, we'd like to do our own reanimation.
Mhm.
But, yes, it's very unusual. I've been the leader of this colony, well, my own colony, before we joined with those who were already here in Neverlight. But I've also been in contact with other colonies even before I was a sovereign. I've never seen this kind of social segregation by group or class or responsibility, or even any segregation by age, for example. It's always been a communal gathering, a way to pass wisdom, to share emotions, to come to a consensus when major decisions needed to be made, such as whether or not we should move on or stay where we were. It's highly unusual. I hear there's even one of the circle leaders who Philos is very close to, who no longer comes to our inner circle meetings. He sends a delegate, a representative, highly unusual as well. Someone told me he doesn't even use speech thought anymore. He actually speaks words like I've seen you and your friends do. We don't do that here. It's considered very rude.
Okay.
Those who seem to be closest to Philos are constantly running around talking about this party, this revelation, this elevation, as if this was some great evolutionary transformation about to become us. They're very excited. And, well, the rest of us don't know much about it.
They, of course, invite all of us, but only in small groups. Some go and have whatever it is that they're making or creating, have it revealed to them, and they come back changed. Those of us who choose not to or who were too busy haven't really changed. A few have come back with these streaks of this black mold you mentioned and haven't changed much, but that's rare. I do think your idea of investigating what's happening and perhaps seeing Igmorgus is a good idea. I am afraid to go there myself. As the sovereign, I am one of the most powerful of the Myconids, and even I feel unwell in the vicinity of I hesitate to call it the corrupted mushroom forest, but let's be honest, they weren't designed to look and grow and feel and taste like that. Perhaps you and your friends could do it.
Yeah. We could have a look. Our friend is there as well. We followed the tracks and they led to Igmorgus. Yeah. So
Oh
But-
no.
he is
I,
fairly resistant to the mold. Well, no, he's not. He he has positive effects of the mold.
oh,
Yeah. So he is one of those creatures that got more non-violent and smarter. He was really aggressive and not so very smart before. And then he came in contact with mold and he changed for the better.
oh, is he a Grick? And you see the image of that tentacled squid-like creature.
And no, he was a minotaur. And I think hard on Cud trying to center an image, but I don't know if it works.
Oh, yes, we have something like that. We have shepherds that take care of them.
Oh,
They're very delicious.
are you thinking about the Rotha?
She sees the image. Not quite. No. And she shows you an image of what appears to be a green cow.
Okay, yeah. Almost. It's just that our friend was, well, more of a humanoid. He could talk, he could walk on his feet, 2 feet, he could fight.
Like this?
Not quite.
Or maybe this one?
Not quite like that either.
Younger?
Well, it doesn't matter what he looked like, but we need to try and find him. And well, I don't know if he needs saving, but we have to check.
Well, I am in agreement with you. The problem is, as I said, although you can be invited in, they like to do it in small groups. And showing up is a bit akin to, they say, spoiling the surprise. We could say that your search. Just 1 second. 1 second. And she concentrates very, very hard. And she looks out into the forest and says, "Ah, Here he is. Poppy, would you please tell them what you told me today? Well, yes, Queen Basidia. So, I'm Hippopi, and I am the leader of the Circle of Growers. We recently had a few of our cattle go missing. We don't know for sure where they've gone. It's possible they've wandered off just into the general tunnels of the Underdark. But it may be that they headed out to the area near Igmorgus, or even befell some predator. Although we do control this region, from time to time predators sneak in, as I'm sure you can imagine, and they can even survive for quite some time amongst the forests. If you promise to go look for them, and well, I suppose that would I'll leave it to the Queen to decide how to phrase it, but it's not an unreasonable expectation that you might wander into the area of Igmorgus. What do you say, Basidia? Yes, excellent idea. Exactly what I had in mind. It's almost like we shared the same thought. Yeah, yes, quite. So you see, whilst we don't normally try to deceive each other, since we do, and there isn't much point since we do meld all the time and deceptions would not last very long. Given the fact that people are speaking less to each other now, becoming more separated, perhaps this is the time to exercise a bit of deception, in the name of the greater good, of course. And it is a genuine requirement that we need to find these beasts as part of our herd. You could, well, kill two mushrooms with one stone, as we like to say. You do need to be careful. We really do have other creatures that wander in and out, and some of the spore servants as well. If you catch the wrong one on a bad day and they don't recognize you, they might attack you. Generally, you should be all right with the spore servants. Just keep in mind that, for the most part, if they're humanoid looking, but they have anything like fungus or mushrooms growing out of their heads or bodies, they probably work for us. And if you don't attack somebody who looks like they're supposed to be here, you shouldn't be bothered.
Sounds good.
The predators don't usually bother us. They're really after animal protein, like yourselves. No offense.
None taken. So, do we have a plan? Now look at the others.
Back the way we came.
Yeah, I guess so. Any of you want to ask something? I feel like I'm doing all the talking today.
No.
No, I think you covered it.
Yep.
I'm really glad she's on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't expecting that. It's good.
Well, thank you for embarking on this dangerous mission. I appreciate that things can get a bit messy. If you would like, you're welcome to leave your sproutlings with us. We'll look after them. Or anyone else who is injured or not up to the task.
I think we
And
should leave Sponge. Sorry.
oh no, you go ahead.
Sponge, do you want to stay here? I'm a little worried about you in the altered forest.
If you don't mind, probably would it would be better for me and Shrieker not to go. I don't want to get sick and slow you down.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
Maybe the
Yeah.
pups and I don't know, Maliborn. I don't know if he wants to come with us or.
Well, I appreciate the thought, but whatever you want.
Oh, jeez. Try to have
We can leave the.
opinion for yourself one time.
Sorry. You're right. I should have my own opinions.
You should.
Like right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're waiting.
My opinion is that I should have my own independent opinions. I'll work on that. Would anyone like a back rub or a massage?
I think we're good for now.
Mm,
Maybe
no,
you
thank you,
should
dear.
take care of the pups while we are gone.
Okay. Is that a command?
No?
As he sort of leans back as they sort of try to nip at him. It's just that when they bite me, they leave little scars on my skin. And he shows you his arms, but of course, not only does he have these little scratches from the cubs, you see that he's got these horrific gashes and scars all the way up his arms and across his back from the experiences he described previously. But I'm happy to do whatever helps. If you would like me to look after the cubs, I can do that. Yes, that's fine. If you see any drow, don't tell them you saw me.
We won't. I don't think we will be talking much if we see any drow, to be honest.
No,
Good.
probably not.
Not on the best terms.
And you see, I had an opinion.
Yeah. Yay, you.
Very good.
Progress.
Yay for me. And he
Yeah.
pats himself on the back.
Moxie hands him their leashes and just looks at him and says, "Thank you."
And they all try to nip at Maliborn immediately. Oh, no problem. It's fine. It's pleasure. Yep. Down. Stop it. Stop it. I'm having an opinion now. You must listen to me. Stop it.
I tell them to stop biting him.
And they
And
immediately
intimidate.
whimper and settle down.
Okay.
Yeah, see, having an opinion works. Yes, there you go. Yeah. Phew. This is stressful having opinions, I have to say. I'm not used to it. I need to lie
You-
down. That's my
You'll get
opinion.
used
I need to lie down.
You go and do that.
And he ties them up to a trunk of a mushroom and then sits just farther enough out of the reach that they can't quite get to him.
Okay. Should we go?
Shall we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Before you go, in case this is of any use, and she hands out what appear to be little dried gourds that have a stopper in the top near the neck. And she gives each of you one gourd. They're all different shapes and different sizes. You may find these useful. I have distilled them myself, so they're perfectly clean.
Okay. What do they do?
2 of them are for recovering after being injured, and 2 of them should help to remove diseases. We have found that they work on the black mold, but only if taken immediately after exposure. Those who have been subjected for some time, it doesn't seem to work.
You guys can decide how you're going to hand them out. Each of you who gets one of these, assuming you each get one, but you don't have to. You can all decide to give all 4 to one person. It's fine. Just make sure to record it on your inventory. The potions will be a potion of greater healing or a potion of cure disease.
I'm good on healing potions, to be honest.
I've got him. I've got one too.
I can use one.
I'll take one.
You two take one, and maybe put when you say that you need to use it right after you have been infected. Do you have kind of a time limit? Is it within the hour, within a minute, within the seconds?
It seems to work best if it's taken within a minute.
Within a minute, okay. Bag of holding?
Any
then?
longer, and yes. It's up to you how you want to distribute them.
Yeah. Just thinking it might be best to have it in the bag of holding, or
Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
good idea.
I don't know.
Or I can take one. I think maybe I should take one of the cure disease thing because if you're in wild shape, then it might take you longer to get out of wild
Yeah,
shape to
true.
hand it out. So
Yeah, you take both.
okay,
Yeah. And then we know that you have it. So if you die, we can pluck it off your butt.
Yeah. Loot me. feel free.
Loot me.
Well, then we know where they are. That's what I was supposed to say.
Yeah, it's practicality, right? Once you're dead, you're nothing but meat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I don't
you
care.
guys are all stuck on an Arctic mountaintop in a plane crash, and you've got nothing to eat. Cracker's thighs are probably big enough to feed all of you for at least a week.
And I mean, if I'm dead, then go right ahead. I don't care.
Exactly. Well done. Yeah. Okay. So you've got your 4 potions. Just as a general reminder, the mechanics in our game are that if you've got the potions sort of handy, like on your belt, attached to the outside of your backpack, which in theory should create some risk that they could be damaged, but we don't really worry about that, then it's a free item interaction just to grab it. If you actually stick it in the back of your backpack or in a bag of holding, it'll take you a full action to go rummage around and find it at a minimum. You can, with an action, drink a potion. Drinking a beer is basically a free item interaction, but for game mechanics and action economy, we don't really let that happen in combat because these potions are essentially like casting a spell. So you'd get all these free item interactions and then you cast a spell, and so you screw up the action con. So drinking a potion takes an action. It is, however, the same action to administer a potion to somebody else. So if somebody else was unconscious and you wanted to give them a potion of healing, for example, or a good berry, that's also just one action. So you could bring back somebody to life, but you would need to be proximate to them. So you'd need to move yourself into a position to be next to them. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. And again, as a reminder, it's probably easiest if you grab a potion of healing from the compendium. I don't know if they have a greater healing potion, but you can always adjust it or just roll it twice. Just change the name so that it says greater potion, greater healing, and then you can mechanically change the numbers so that it rolls 4d4 instead of 2d4. And then it's +2 or +4 instead of +2. If you can't do it, I'll do it for you. All right, everybody all set? Any other questions? Cool. Anybody want to say their goodbyes? give any last minute orders in case you don't make it back? Oh, confidence. I like it. Yeah, Laura's gonna come back next week and she'll be like, "Hello, why is no one else here?" They're all dead, Laura. What? No. Sorry, Laura. If you hear this recording, I'm not trying to make you sound like a Muppet. Okay. Back from whence you came. Of course, no longer have the pups or Maliborn or Sponge and Shrieker. One of the things that you hadn't really noticed until very recently is that there is this constant trickle of music in the background. It's very faint. It's disjointed. It doesn't sound like something you would expect. It's just sort of a weird tinkling. It's almost like a wind chime that's just designed around discordant melodies.
Does it sound familiar?
Good question. Roll a history check. And this is not because it necessarily does sound familiar and you're trying to remember it. It's just because you don't necessarily know it sounds familiar. Really telling that to Daria to explain what these kinds of checks mean in my game. Okay. If anybody else wants to roll a history check, they can also do it.
Sure, I can try. Never goes well, but
Yeah, whatever.
I might have a good thinking day. Hold on.
I don't know. Nope.
Oh, wow.
Where are we?
Yeah.
What's this? I know
I think-
nothing.
I feel like Cracker feels like this is the same song she was singing that she and Zanice were singing when they were taking a bath.
Mm-hmm. Splish splash, there's a half orc in my bath. Da-da.
Presumably, the rest of you are now singing along with it.
Contagious.
So, Moxie, you do not think it's familiar in the strict sense of it's the same exact tune. But as far as discordant melodies go, it reminds you a little bit of some of the music that you briefly heard in the New Model City when you were surrounded by ghosts.
Oh. That's not ominous at all.
Susan, I swear, you always think everything is ominous. I don't know. I mean, I could give you I could give you guys a bunch of lollipops, cotton candy, and you'd say, "Oh, this is not ominous."
Hey, Moxie's had it rough, okay? Before she got here. Everything is
PTSD.
ominous. Everything is ominous to her.
Let's just pretend
Fair
that
enough.
it's Sudhan's protective song. I think that's best. Protective song
Right,
of
exactly.
Smooth Hands.
Here we go.
We're
All
safe.
right.
A gnomish god.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Searching for cattle.
Looking for cows in all the wrong places. Spotted dung, but not the wrong races. Okay. Looking for cows, just looking for cows. All right. So you guys can move yourselves around on the map however you wish. Nothing bad's going to happen to you.
No.
So
Yeah.
do these cows have the same sort of dung thing going on? Can I do a survival check for tracking?
Oh, well, the question is, have you ever seen one of these cows?
No.
Aha. So
But I
how
can
would
make an
you be able to-
assumption.
Well, okay. So if you're telling me you're looking for dung from a cow from the surface that you're used to seeing, you could do that.
Well, we saw Rotha. We saw their poo. And then I'm thinking Cud, he's a cow. I mean, how different can it be? Maybe it's just green.
I think Cud would be very offended if you called him a cow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me
but
too.
that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully he can't
Especially
hear
if
me
you called
thinking.
his mother a cow. You take that back about my mother.
Hopefully I'd have the sensitivity, but I'm not sure. So,
What's Cracker's charisma again?
it's 12. So I'm not too bad.
Not too bad. Although maybe like 6 points of that is just the fact that she's built like a brick house. And
Yeah.
she looks really, really impressive. She's like an
Muscles.
American gladiator, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
part of it's just the hair and the looks and the biceps, right?
Shiny
Yep.
muscles. Yeah. I can get away with a lot of stuff, right? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and I'll tell you now, it's not like the highest roll you're going to be able to make, but yeah. You can always try, as Henrietta always says, I say.
Ooh,
Ooh.
22.
22.
All right. So as a reminder, again, mostly for
I
Dari,
know.
20s are not necessarily an automatic success on a skill check. It just means that you may have succeeded or failed less badly than otherwise. You do find things that look like piles of what could be described as feces. As somebody who's been out in the wild, been around lots of creatures, including seeing her own poop, presumably. Unless you're one of those people who just sort of drops it and then leaves without looking back over her shoulder. Animals. You would recognize it as something. Is it the poop from a weird green cow that lives in a myconid colony mushroom forest that you've never seen before? And you have no idea what their poop looks like, much less what the cows themselves look like. I mean, how else would you know? Are you going to eat it?
No, but I mean, Cracker's got a little overconfidence going on based on how she tracked Cud.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
she's thinking, yeah, hey, everybody. Hey, look, there's poop. I'm becoming a bit of a poop expert.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, they all seem to point in one direction. I'll give you one guess. This way.
Yeah. Let's go that way.
Sounds good.
I'll let you guys move your you can move your range of motion. So for those of you with 30 feet, you can move 30 feet. If you want to dash, that's fine. But just remember your passive perception will take a hit of -5, which is equivalent to disadvantage.
Still can't move.
Oh. Okay. You and I, after the game, if you can spare like 15 minutes, let's work on this, because there's no real good reason why you should have that problem when nobody else can.
Sure.
I think part of it is your setup is not allowing, it's not set up for you to move the token. You can try to move it now. No? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's a problem because there's a default setting. Obviously, we're missing it somewhere because everybody else can do it. Okay. I didn't do anything different from your token that I did with everybody else's. I copied and pasted. So you should be able to move. If you can't, then we've got to fix that. All right. Okay. So, good. What?
What?
Turn order tracker.
Never seen that before. What's that?
Yeah, that's a total surprise, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Complete surprise. Utter shock.
Okay, the sarcasm,
Fight the cows?
Yeah.
Evil cows.
Evil cows. Vampire cow.
There we go.
Yeah, we haven't had one of those before.
Ideas.
You hear hissing, and you see ahead of you. Those of you who picked up the mental image, a grick. It looks like a gigantic caterpillar, but the front end has a large, almost parrot-like beak and these nasty tentacles with hooks on the end of them.
Horrible.
Oh, I hope it's not that big.
I know, right? It just crushed me into Lynn.
Yeah. You know what was cool is I just did that by literally pulling something over. So I think Roll20 has made some nice changes. Okay. Who wants to roll for the Grick, which you now know is the name of it? Yay! All right. Daria. You can do it. 20. Okay. All right. All right. An average roll. We're going to call that, not that that's really the initiative, but just to keep things simple. So who's going to go first between Cracker and Moxie? You guys can choose.
Cracker can go first.
I'm going to change yours, Yvonne, to 6. All right. So this thing literally slithers down off of a mushroom stalk from hiding inside the cap. And it's going to surprise you. So I'm actually going to, sorry about that, Henrietta. I'm going to actually make them go first. The rest of you will have lost your reaction and your action, other than for searching. And it's going to go and do it's going to move down. I guess it'll be Delin. Who wants to roll the attack roll? Susan?
Sure. Sorry, Delin.
No, it's okay.
Ouch.
Well, the good news is not only does it hit, it now has grabbed Delin, not grappling, but just grabbed her. And it's going to try to chomp on her with a beak as well. So, yeah. Yvonne, why don't you roll the beak attack?
Oh. Oh, 18. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. She'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Fine.
Okay. Between the two, you'll take 15 points of total damage.
I need to do math. There we go.
Cracker?
I see this and I freak the
Mhm.
hell out. So I'm in a rage and I run to here. Wait, no, here. Can I run under that mushroom? Is it tall enough for me to be under
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can assume that all the mushrooms are tall enough that you can all stand underneath them.
Okay. And I'm recklessly attacking because I am freaked out.
Mhm.
So hold on a second here.
Excellent.
Put that on advantage. And I grab my great axe. And I swing.
Nice.
Does Cracker yell anything when she does that?
Alice!
I think you yelled
And,
so loud that you blew out your sound. I didn't hear
Oh,
anything.
sorry. What the hell is that?
Well done.
And then I'm gonna swing again.
Okay.
So there's my
Wow.
second attack.
Yeah, this thing is very badly injured already. You've literally cut off 2 of the tentacles, and it's oozing green liquid
Ugh.
all over Delin.
Aw.
Sorry about that.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay. Your axe is magical, isn't it? Yes, it is, right?
Yep.
Okay. Nice. Moxie.
All right. Well, seeing as Zelyn just got whacked with the Grick, she's going to cast Healing Word on her.
Nice. Having learned her lesson with Pierce Bluebottom, she's never going to allow herself to be criticized again for.
Letting someone die.
Thank you.
Never again.
Worried about being voted off the island. Okay. Yeah. Nice. So that's your bonus action, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to take an action or move or anything else?
I will move
Because you can. Not saying
over
you
here.
have to. Okay. And you still have an action, which is the cool part.
Yeah, I do. However, I don't. I guess we could always cast Hideous Laughter on it. See if it'll drop to Lynn.
Wow. You could. So Hideous Laughter is a leveled spell, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a spell.
It's a spell.
But it's not a cantrip.
Nope.
So
Never
just
mind.
as a reminder, yeah. So
Yeah.
just as a reminder, I know you know that I know you've been reminded, but just as a reminder for folks and also for Daria, who may she probably already knows this, but just in case, if you do cast a bonus action spell, the action you use can only be for a cantrip or a non-spell.
Yep.
And to clarify, if you have a magical item that does a spell-like effect, like a ring of spell storing or a wand, that doesn't count. You can still use that. Okay.
Okay.
So you could cast a cantrip if you have one, or you could attack, or you could do something else like dodge or help action, right?
Stab at it.
Okay.
Stabby stab.
Stabby stab. What's with 13?
I don't know.
That sounds like quite a lot of damage. Oh, you're using the Dagger of Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is it +5? Is that really right? I'll have to double check that. That doesn't seem right, because in D&D 5th edition, they don't have +5 weapons anymore. Where did you get that from?
Whatchamacallit?
The compendium?
Yeah. I
Okay.
just clicked and dragged.
Sorry. It's not a +5 weapon. It's maybe +4. Is it because you've got a dex bonus? Oh, sorry. It's +5 because it's +4 naturally, and then okay, that's right. Okay, so we need to set this up so that it does a saving throw as well. Why don't you roll a saving throw for this thing?
Mm.
Okay. So, just as a reminder, the Dagger of Venom can only be used once like this a day.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it's basically a +1 dagger. Okay. So that's the details there. We'll have to set this up to do a saving throw. Remind everybody to do a saving throw. So you will, your 12 will not hit. You slice through there, you miss it. The poison remains on the weapon until your attack succeeds.
Okay.
Okay. For 1 minute. So you've got basically 10 combat rounds. As soon as you hit it, the poison will be used once.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Anything else for Moxie? Now she's next to the Grick.
Yep.
Okay. Delin.
See,
That's me, Moxie, Susan. Just
need to close that. So, am I grappled?
Are you grappling? No, no, you're not grappled.
Okay.
It just got close enough that it can bite you.
Okay. I am going to. I don't have a lot, to be honest. And seeing that Cracker did so much damage to it, I think that, well, she's got this. And I'm just gonna take the disengage action and move away. Oop.
Okay. Cool. All right. Whose turn is next?
Daria.
Mine. And I'm gonna cast a firebolt.
Okay. Nice.
And I'm gonna just back up a little. And that's my turn.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make this change. I'm going to just do this, pop this real quick for Moxie.
Because of her position, does she get a flanking advantage?
Sorry, one sec. Okay, I think that should be right for you now, Susan.
Okay. Perfect.
Sorry, what was your question there, Yvonne?
Because of Moxie's position, did she get an advantage on the flanking?
Yes, she
Reach
should have
that?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, do you? Okay, we'll do the Grick first, and
Yeah.
pretty much I don't want to retcon it too much. Okay. The firebolt at 10 is not going to hit, obviously. The Grick is going to attack. Well, I guess Cracker's the biggest threat, right? So
Yeah, come and get me.
But you did attack recklessly, so the
Yep.
Grick now has advantage.
Yep.
Henrietta, would you like to roll with advantage?
Sure. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
At least you're
I
raging.
can take it.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Just a little
She'll
flesh
breathe.
wound.
It's but a flesh wound. Yeah. If you don't know that reference, Daria, it's Monty Python. Monty who? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's about right. 27 points.
Ow.
So half, right?
Yes, a half. Slashing and piercing.
Okay.
So you're resistant to all that. Actually, so that's yeah. We'll just do it. That's fine. Okay, Cracker. You go ahead.
Alrighty. So I will have advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to recklessly attack. I'm just like in the heat of the battle, raging.
Oh, sorry. So you're
And
going to have advantage if you're attacking recklessly, but if we're going to have Moxie do the
do we both get flanking?
No, so I just have one person get flanking because the whole point
Okay.
is that somebody's attacking from behind. We should have had Moxie attack with advantage last round, and Susan and I
Okay.
both forgot. So
Okay, then I'm recklessly attacking. I'm still mental.
okay.
And so I take it on my first swing.
Oh yeah, that'll connect, and that will finish it off.
Lovely.
Yeah, lovely. Didn't nice. How does it like? What does Cracker do specifically, and how does the Grick go down?
Well, as my axe connects right along the side of its beak, right into its brain, I slice it straight down the middle, like halfway down, and there's gushing goo everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, now I need a bath.
Nice.
Oh, that is so funny.
All the noise has brought something else slithering out.
Of course.
What?
I'll just mess with you out.
What?
I'm gonna get eaten.
Only if you want to. Nobody dies in this game unless they do something really deserving of it. Of course, Daria, poor Zanice being where she is. We're going to have Daria, why don't you roll the initiative for our Nothic friend, whom you also know the name of because it was told to you. Hopefully it doesn't do anything that makes Zanice all dirty so that she needs to go take another bath.
She will take it anyway.
She'll take it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, this thing is so fast, it's actually going to go second. Moxie, you can go ahead.
All right.
You see this thing literally pop down. And does Zanice, I'll let Zanice scream if she wants. Daria, does Zanice want to scream or shout or
No.
something? No, oh,
No.
just
She's
silent
just gonna
stoicism.
stand there staring at it.
Staring at it?
Yeah. She just froze up from fear.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you were going to get into a staring contest with its one eye. I'm not even sure it has an eyelid, so maybe it would win automatically.
Oh, wow.
Okay, very good. Moxie.
All right. I'm gonna dash over here
Okay.
so I can be in range,
Right.
and that will be my turn.
Okay. Nice. Your poison-coated dagger still in your possession.
Yep.
Dalin.
Everyone is right up in his face. I need some space.
There's space was left.
Not for my spell.
If you do tidal wave like here, everybody will get a bath.
Yeah. I'm just gonna hit him with produce flame.
Wow.
20
Okay.
with a 9.
That's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, the 20 hits and little shower of sparks appears and a little bit of fire on one of its spines. It starts hopping around. Pain. Anything else?
No, I think I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. The Nothic. Well, since Zanice is already staring at the Nothic in fear, the Nothic will stare back, and the central eye. Well, I say central as in there's more than one eye, but there's literally just the one eye. Starts glowing and pulsating, and as it does so, Zanice, you feel as if the skin on your face is literally starting to just fester and itch, and you smell your skin literally rotting. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Oh no! Daria, it's been a real pleasure. 11 points of necrotic damage.
I am not dead yet.
You're not dead yet?
No.
I gotta try harder next time. Okay. All right. Zanice, your turn.
I'm gonna cast Arms of Hader.
I know you said Arms of Hadar, but because you were like you were sort of you sounded like you were moving away from the microphone somehow. It sounded like Ass of Hadar, which
It
would be
did.
so much worse.
Yes, it
I
did.
do.
Everybody else heard that too? Ass of Hadar.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah, that
I'm
was
like looking
great.
through
I
my
was
spell book, like, is that a
looking for that one.
is that a
It's
homebrew
a new
spell?
name
I
for
don't
this
remember
spell.
that one. Ass of Hadar.
Yeah.
Or even better
The
would be
spell.
Ass of Hagar, like Sammy Hagar. Ass of Sammy Hagar. Sammy Hagar, we love you. Okay. Arms of Hadar. Black tentacles, right? Why don't you read the description? I always love this description. Why don't you read the description?
You invoke a power of Haidar, the dark hunger. Tendrils of dark energy erupt from you and batter all creatures within 10 feet of you. Each creature in that area must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, a target takes 2d6 necrotic damage and can take the reaction until its next turn.
Right. Well, I mean, that sounds
Mm,
it sounds like you don't get to choose.
Nope.
Mhm.
So you've basically hit everybody in your party.
I
Except
don't
the-
care, I always die.
I don't care. I almost died. I think you guys are going to have a little chat around the campfire later tonight, assuming everybody
Yeah.
survives.
Yeah.
Next time you cast Ass of Hadar.
Get your ass somewhere away from me.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Now, batter all creatures within 10 feet. Okay, yeah. We're going to assume that this does not affect you, even though it doesn't actually specify it, but I'll assume it doesn't. Your spell save DC is 13, which means, unfortunately, both of your teammates were affected at full damage, so that's 7 points. And you can't take a reaction until the next turn. Daria, why don't you roll the saving throw for the Nothic?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you did get the Nothic at least.
Yeah,
That was
and
worth
I'm
it.
gonna move away.
Okay. Now, just as a reminder, if you're in range and this thing is next to you, as you move away, it's going to have an opportunity attack, usually. Now, since it failed its attack, it won't have a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was what I hoping for.
Good. Perfect. So well done you for playing the rules properly. Okay. Cool. Now, I'm pretty sure it's just instantaneous, right? It doesn't stay
Yeah.
with you. Yeah. Okay, so now it's going to go back. And the spell goes away. Nice. Well done, Daria. I mean, I say that, but you did twice as much damage to your party as you did to the enemy.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be a chat at the campfire. Okay, Cracker.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Sorry, everyone. I'm gonna
Wasn't
dash to
intentional.
here and be ready to attack.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. And who's next?
Eh,
Moxie.
We're gonna stabby stab again. Hopefully it hits this time.
And she can take the
Okay.
flanking bonus, right?
Am I still behind it because Denise was in front of me?
Yeah, it's a fair question. The way I've usually done it is, in case there's like more than one potential flanker, it's whoever
Mhm.
got there last.
Okay. No, that's
Right.
fine.
I think that makes the most sense. But your point is a fair point. I think if we were just consistent about whoever gets there last, I think that'll future disagreements on things.
Works.
So you go ahead and attack normally, please. Ooh, yeah. Well, that's definitely a hit. So go ahead and roll his save. It's save, I should say. We don't know what the gender is, if there isn't one. Ooh, wow. Yeah. I mean, this thing literally just starts oozing green and purple and pink and all the colors of the rainbow. It's still alive, barely. And your venom is no longer active, so now it is a +1 dagger.
Mhm.
But well done, Susan. Well done,
Thank
Moxie.
you.
Anything else for Moxie?
No.
Uh-huh. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't give Zanice healing word if she just hit me with 7 hit points, even if I had a bonus action to spare. So
Nope. I have been good ever since Shatter like almost killed everybody. I do not cast
Yes,
those spells with people in the way. I learned my lesson.
you did. Well done, you. Yes, gold star. Well done. All right, Henrietta.
Yes, I am going to do another produce flame.
All
Pacha!
right, let's see it.
13.
It goes flying past the Nothic, hits a mushroom, and the whole place smells like grilled portobellos.
I'm gonna send a healing word at Zenise. That's an
Okay.
8.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Zanice's face starts looking a little bit better. She just looks like she's got really bad acne scars now. The Nothic. Let's see. I guess Moxie did the most damage recently, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, so it'll be Moxie who gets to roll a Constitution saving throw as the Nothic turns its green, glaring eye upon her. Oh no!
Fudge.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No.
7 points. I think basically one of Moxie's eyebrows falls out.
Good thing she's not self-conscious about her looks.
Yeah. She's getting a lot of bad necrotic damage attacks.
Mhm.
All right, Zanice, it's your chance to try to finish this thing off. Redeem yourself in the eyes of your fellow teammates.
I will cast magic missile.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the Ass of Hadar again.
Far from them.
I mean, technically, Ass of Hadar should probably do a lot more damage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Magic Missile is definitely going to automatically hit, so that'll be good. Roll three dice. 3, 5, 8. 3, 8, 11. Okay. How does it die, Daria? Describe how it dies.
So as a magic missile hits it, it just falls down.
Okay, succinct. Yeah, that works. Now, we do have a rule in our game when you shoot magic missiles, when you cast the magic missile spell, you have to make the pew 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 sound. So let's hear
Pew,
it.
pew.
Hey, well done. Hey.
Natural.
Well done, Daria.
Woo!
All right, well done. So we ran over a little bit, but I think that's a good way to end it. As the Nothic falls down, the magic missiles bursting in its face, you all hear some gentle lowing sounds. And you find the little vegetarian cows that were hiding apparently behind some of the mushroom stalks come wandering out, and they just run up to you gently and start nuzzling each of you. One of them even turns toward Delin, showing her udders, looking like she needs to be milked. But you're not entirely sure how to milk it because it's not really a cow, it's actually a plant. Maybe it's like milkweed.
I bring out my dagger.
Huh.
Oh my god. Well, on that note. All right, folks. Well, thank you very much. I hope you guys had fun. I certainly did.
Yes.
Had a blast.
Yep. Good times.
And congratulations to Daria for popping her cherry, as we say, using the pew 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 successfully, and also getting her first song in. We'll work on it. And I'll
Pew, pew,
see
pew.
everybody next Sunday, and Laura presumably will be back as well.
Yes.
And who's going to do the recap next week? Did we agree?
I was.
Was it Susan? Okay, excellent. All right. Thanks for everyone. And Daria, if you could hang out for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thanks,
Bye.
folks.
Okay, bye.
See you.
Bye.
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 Bye.